Today I'm going to show you a demonstration of the app Popplet. Popplet can be used to make word maps, semantic feature analyses, interactive graphic organizers, or any kind of semantic map, and many other activities for speech and language therapy. So I'm in the app here and I'm going to make a new Popplet, which means just a new activity. You can then name your Popplet, give it a name. I used this app today with a student who was reviewing current events with the website News to You, which gives modified news stories for children with special needs with lots of visual supports. And we were reviewing the upcoming NCAA Final Four tournament, or the NCAA championships. So I'm just going to call this one NCAA. The app helped me to kind of lay out the connections and schema around the event for her and give her some visuals. You can pick a color for the Popplet. That's going to be the background color. So I'm going to keep it blue and do make it so. And once you're in to your Popplet, which is your activity, you can put ideas in these rounded rectangles that are called popples. So I'm going to make my central idea, which is the NCAA Final Four. Okay, which I did by tapping the T icon here. Notice that when you're typing text, you can format the text here in this little menu that appears on the right. And I'm going to make it nice and big because it's my central idea. So then anything that you want to say about it, you can just tap and another popple will be created. Okay, so if I wanted to type in this one and say, let's see, that the NCAA Final Four is related to colleges in our country, or I could say college basketball. You can also color code each popple, so if you wanted to have it a particular color, you can do that just by tapping on the little border icon. You can tap and move any popple, of course. If I wanted to bring out a new idea and say that the tournament happens, or this particular tournament is happening in New Orleans, I can do that and give that a different color if I like, whatever makes sense for you and your activity. Sometimes kids have trouble understanding different geographic entities, and you might want to popple that off and say that New Orleans is a city, like, and list some other cities or major cities in the United States. Of course, I put Boston in there because that's where I'm from. One thing that Popple does really well is, if you'd like, you can add an image right into your Popple to make it a more visual activity. So if I wanted to, I could open up Safari and look up an image of New Orleans. Tap on Images. Let's find a good New Orleans one. That one's pretty good. Tap on it. Okay, and from this cover flow kind of interface, that's why it moves like this and becomes sort of a cover flow situation. You can tap and hold and save the image. So I tapped and hold. Sometimes that takes a little practice to do that. So I'm going to go back to Popplet, and I want to add that image to the New Orleans popple. I just click on that little mountain icon and you can see it says Open Library or Take a Photo. I'm going to open my library. And add that in. So you can continue simply adding popples, moving them around, color coding, etc. And once you're done with your activity, it's easily exportable. So you can tap here on Export. You can email yourself a PDF. You can email a JPEG. You can save a JPEG image, and that will go into your camera roll. It's also important to note that you can use this little gear menu, and you can create a Popplet activity that could be a template for something else. So particularly if you're using like semantic feature analysis, you could create all of the different categories and features in little popples and then save that as a template and just continue making a copy of it. Okay, so I just made a copy of this entire thing, though this is not really a template. Then, yeah, I selected all the popples. Now I'm going to copy them and go home, make a new Popplet, I'll make this one green so you can see the difference, and then go to the gear menu and paste them all in. So you don't have to keep sort of creating categories for yourself. You can cut and paste to put those in. To note, Popplet is really great to use with lots of writing programs that have different structures. So here's a place where I used Popplet as a brainstorming template. And these were categories that we were going to write in a letter. So we were working on kind of some expository text structure there of having different categories within a letter. Also, you can even use Popplet for things such as sentence combining. So if I zoom in here, this was something I did with a student working on combining sentences with the word because. That's a technique that has a lot of evidence-based practice behind it. This was about John F. Kennedy. So you can use Popples to kind of line up to create a complex sentence. You also could use Popplet to just move words around and work on categorization. So that's it. That's how you use Popplet. Hope you enjoy the app.